Boomer Sooner, everybody. My name's Harry James. Well, it's time, guys. Go back in the time machine with me. 1971. If you're from the Midwest, you know this as the Midwest's game of the century. It's time for the reunion game, if you will. Yes, it is. And with that being said, that brings us to the Sooner Stumper. I need the name of both coaches from Oklahoma and from Nebraska from the 71 game. And if you need a hint for this one, well, guys, it's that they kind of did set the stage for the next coaches in line. Tom Osborne, and some guy you probably would have heard of from in this area in Oklahoma, Barry Switzer, who preceded those two gentlemen as head coaches for Oklahoma and Nebraska. We'll answer the question, plus we'll preview Oklahoma, Nebraska 2021, a.k.a. the reunion game. Next, Boomer Center 1982. Don't go away! Welcome back to the show, everybody. My name's Harry James. 2021 is the 50th anniversary of the Big 8 game of the century here in the Midwest. Between Oklahoma and Nebraska, the game was played in Norman, who were the two head coaches that preceded Tom Osborne and Barry Switzer. Well, for Nebraska, it was Bob Devaney. He retired in 1973 and handed the ball right off to Tom Osborne. That was for Nebraska. For our side of it, for Oklahoma side of it, also in 1973, but it was Chuck Fairbanks, who would later accept a job with the New England Patriots of the NFL, and that meant the handoff would go off to one Barry Switzer. All right, guys. The greatest rivalry, the most friendly rivalry that you may have ever heard of. It's been played 84 times. And Oklahoma leads the series. Oklahoma leads the series, by the way, 43, 38, and 3. That is a 56% winning clip. The game has been played 84 times. The last win for each team. The last time Nebraska won a game in this series, it was 2009. Their second to last year in the Big 12. Their final game to play a Big 12 game with Oklahoma, and Nebraska would win it 10-3. Kind of a boring game, even with a 10-3 final, which made it sound that way. They won in 2010, a lot more exciting, a lot more points being scored. The game was played in Arlington, Texas, and Oklahoma ended up winning it. They had to rally, however, but they did end up winning the game 23-20. Pre-game festivities. If you're a fan of the sports and MO, you'll see them in their trailer parked right in front of O'Connell's You cannot miss these guys. They are great. Al, Jim, Matt, Ravis, all of them. Also, Sports Talk 1400. The Ref, I should say. They're out at Balfour and Norman on Campus Corner. Okay, you know where WWLS and the Sports Animal are? Right across the street is Balfour. Can't miss them. 98.1 KREF. Sports Franchise Sports Network. They are just north of the stadium. They do their pregame at the Palace on the Prairie. Party at the Palace, I should say. The party at the Palace is also a set pregame for them. That's it for the pregame. What about the game itself, guys? Well, September 18th, 2021, 11 a.m. on National Fox. Big Fox. No pay-per-view here, baby. FOX. The Sooner Radio Network. Toby Rowland is back rocking and rolling on the main mic again as play-by-play. Also is the play-by-play man for the basketball and the baseball teams. Helping him break down the plays as a color analyst, by the way, Toby also has his own show on the KREF 98.1 Sports Talk 1400 network from 6 to 9. As does the color analyst Teddy Lehman have a show on the Sports Talk 1400 KREF. He's on there from 3 to 6 on the radio dial. Sideline reporting. Gabe Eichert in his franchise tag. All right, Gabe. Big 12 today. Sirius Satellite XM Channel 375 from 3 to 5. Also is the co-host of the Oklahoma Breakdown with fellow Sooner Radio broadcaster and former Oklahoma Sooner Teddy Lehman. He and Gabe do a great job on the Oklahoma Breakdown. But the main sideline reporter, guys, helping out Gabe Eichert, you know who this is. Chris Plank from Tulsa, the Planker. Sports Talk 1400 from 9 to 11 on Monday through Friday. Also does the Fox Sports Radio nationally from 10 to 1 on the weekends. All right, guys, that'll do for that. Now we'll break down the Oklahoma Sooners. Their head coach, Lincoln Riley, overall, in 53 games, has a 45-8-3 overall record. That's an 84.9% winning clip. Also has an 85% winning clip. Also in conference play with 29-5 in 34 games. This year is also 4-0 in Big 12 championship game appearances. So 4 more there. That does not count towards the conference record. The bowl record for Lincoln Riley, 1-3. But you know what, guys? They might be 1-3 in the college football playoffs, but you know what you got to have before you get to the playoffs? You got to have the divisional titles and the conference titles. Oklahoma's got plenty of these to shop around with. Divisional titles, 8. Are you ready? 2000, 2002, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Yes, that all adds up to 8 big championships. 13 conference titles. Because nobody cares about the divisional titles. They want the rings. And to get the rings, Oklahoma's got 13 of these just in Big 12 play. Bob took them all the way back in 2000. Got another one in 04, or 02, 04, 06, 07, 08, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. The one in 2020 was a pretty good looking team. They were 8-2, 6-2 in league play. They did, however, get revenge in that Big 12 championship game over one of the two teams that beat them in the regular season. That is Kansas State. Oklahoma won that one 27-21, earning them the right to play a week later in that same stadium, AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium, as part of the Cotton Bowl, and they beat Florida 52-20. But you know what, guys? That's 2020. Nobody cares about 2020. Do you want to know about 2021? And I got you some information on 2021. What about for 2021? Averaging 58.0 points per ball game, and yards per ball game is way up to 527.0. So that's just the numbers. But the big number, the national number that you're really going to want to pay attention to, 25th ranked offense in the country. Defensively, 53rd in overall defense, allowing 17.5 points per ball game and 287.0 yards per ball game, as we already talked about, making them the 53rd best defense in the nation. Sooners have a 2-0 record already after beating Tulane 45-35 at Tulane is what it says on the tab, but it was a neutral site game played in Norman because of the Hurricane Ida. The regular season opener was against Western Carolina, and Oklahoma took them to school 76-0. That's your Sooners. What about the Huskers? Their head coach, Scott Frost, graduate from the University of Nebraska, played at Stanford in 1995 before transferring to Nebraska to finish up his collegiate career in 96 and 97. Coaching history, UCF. That is the University of Central Florida, baby, in Orlando. Boom. Mic drop. Did that in 2016 and 2017 before accepting this job in Lincoln in the Big Ten in 2018. Overall record in favor of UCF and Nebraska, both. Overall, 61 games at both schools, with a 33-28 record. That is a 54% winning clip overall. The conference numbers way down. 35 games in Big 12 and American play at UCF and in Lincoln. 35 games, 13 for 22 in league play, 37% in conference. 0 conference championship history. 0 since 2000 or 99 when Bob got here. Divisional titles since Stoops got here in 99. 8 of these. 1999, 2000, 01, 06, 08, 09, 2010. 2012 also got a divisional title, this time with the Big Ten. They did win the conference in 1999 for one conference title. Ugh. Congratulations, Nebraska. Recapping 2020, 3-5 overall, 3-5 in the Big Ten West. Did get their best win of the season in a 30-23 victory over the Penn State Nittany Lions. They are 2-1, 0-1 in Big Ten West action thus far in 2021. Kicked off Big Ten West action right away and lost it 30-22 to Illinois at Illinois. They then came home for 2 games in Lincoln, friendly confines of Lincoln, Nebraska, and got a 52-7 victory over Fordham and a 28-3 victory over Buffalo. Offense and defense. Their offense averages 34.0 points per ball game and 517.3 yards per ball game. That is the 29th best offense in the country. But we all love those black shirts. Those black shirts, if you will, average giving up 13.3 points per ball game, 325.7 yards per ball game. All that combined, the 98th defense in all of college football. All right, guys, that'll do it for the Nebraska preview. Before we go, I'll tell you guys about this real quick. Through the Keyhole. That's what it's called. This is what it should look like here in the next couple of days. Right now, but it might still look like this. Either way, it's still in the Keyhole. It's still Brady, still Keegan, Matt Burton still produces. It's good stuff. For that, they also do a post-game pod. And the middleman, Keegan Renault, breaks down the film for the previous week's games. All that happens on the Patreon app. Right here. Patreon app. Now, for the videos and everything, this is $5 to get this Patreon. They also have a $2 Patreon, which is just the audio podcasts. You don't get any of the videos. And $1 if you want to just read the articles. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up. My name's Harry James. Catch this and all my other videos. YouTube, Boomer Sooner 1982. Also, Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or on the Twitter box at HypeManHarry. All right, guys, till next week when we review Nebraska. I'm Harry James. See you then. I'm out of here. Peace.